Hey.
Hello. Hi.
There you go. She got there.
Good start.
Aye, good start. This week has been like the last few weeks. It's not really been conducive to doing videos and things, but we're going to persevere. We're not going to be defeated by a bit of weather. So sometimes we'll be filming in the pouring rain or the snow, so spare a thought for us. But we want to bring a video out to you every week or as often as possible. So aye, we're going to persevere. This week's video, we continue with the box for the outboard, and I take one of the berths apart to find leaks on the boat. And my brain does a thing as my brain does. So aye, let's get into it and we'll see how it goes. After Sally finishes laughing at me.
It's your brain doing things.
Oh, my brain does things. I wish it wouldn't, but it does. Anyway, let's crack on with the video. I'm not sure how well you can hear me over that generator, but while it's raining heavy, I'm going to take all the boards and things out of this berth because there's still a bit of water coming in there. It's not a lot. It's been absolutely pouring it down with rain for days now, and there's about a cup full of water down here. So I'm going to pull all these boards out and I'm going to find out where it's coming from, and then I'm going to get that sealed up. I'm not sure you could quite call this a berth. It might be long enough for a child, but it's certainly not long enough for an adult. But this is the one that's going to be the toilet anyway, so I'm not too concerned with that. As I said, I'll get these boards out and we'll see where the water's coming in. Now, let me see. It's actually got quite a handy wee cubby in here as well. Aye, so we'll get these flathead screws out and we'll see where the water's coming from. I had thought that there is the anchor locker and I thought it might be coming from that, but this seems dry, so it must be coming from further in. If you see this here, that's mould, so it might be that it's coming from the front or something. But once we get all these boards off, we'll be able to have a look. Okay. I didn't have to work very hard. Right, next. Well, now I see why it's leaking. I don't know if you can see that there, but that's been screwed right through the hull, as has this by the looks of it. You can see where all the water's been coming in. This goes right into the front deck, and it's just one 5mm layer, a 10mm layer even. Okay, so that's a hole through the deck, that's a hole through the deck, that's a hole through the deck. There's another one. Okay. That one's had water coming in, and that one. This here's got balsa core in it, but this bit doesn't. Okay. So this is leaking, that one's leaking, that's stanchions there, that is rub rail. I can actually move that with my hand. This hole here is leaking, this hole here is leaking. Okay, that one's not. Sorry about the flickering of that light, it seems to be just at that frequency. I'm just going to take this carpet off the front here. It seems a bit wet, but not too bad. Okay, this is definitely damp here. It doesn't seem to be coming off the window though, which is strange. Down here is really wet. There. I wonder, is there a crack in here? I'll have to investigate that further. There seems to be some sort of crack in this area, so I'm going to have to get the grinder on that and grind it down. And then this here, the black round about it, is a screw hole that's leaking. This one is not too bad. There are a few. I mean, this is absolutely soaking in here. And then this here, this is the rub rail outside, that's leaking a bit. and then this is one of the stanchions, and that's leaking, so I'm going to have to get that sealed up. Then that hole there is leaking quite a lot of water. There's a few of them that have like this one as well. I think they've been screwed just too deep into the deck and they've been leaking. So I'm going to have to get that, get it all sanded down, get it ground down and get it sealed up with some fiberglass and epoxy, both sides, top and bottom. I mean, you can actually see water dripping here, and mould has been growing underneath the boards, which is it's not very healthy at all. You see it all the way down here. So I'm going to rip all of this out, give it a good clean, and then, as I said, I'm going to fiberglass underneath, and if it ever stops raining, I'll fiberglass on top as well, on the deck, just to make sure it's all sealed up. I'm quite relieved. I mean, I'm looking at the balsa core, and strangely enough, that there doesn't have any balsa core in it, but that there does, right round this square, right down here. And they seem to have, when they put the wood on, for to put the boards onto it, they seem to have screwed into the bits, most of the bits that doesn't have balsa core in it. So aye, I think they thought they were screwing into balsa core, but they missed it completely. This bit here where they've actually screwed into the core, you can see the core there, it's all nice and white and dry, so I'm happy at that. I'm going to get this board off here. I'm not quite sure of why this rope's here, but I'll get that board off just now and I'll have a look and see. Now I've got that board off and it all looks dry. This is epoxy when they were actually tabbing it in, so this looks dry, and this is the vent into the sail locker in front there. So it looks dry. I mean, it's been wet at some point, but it's actually dried out. So I think it really is just these wee, I don't know if you can see that, just screw holes where they've missed the balsa core and actually just went through the hull or through the deck. So aye, time to get filling and sanding and things, and I'll come back in. I just took the carpet and everything out of this area. It was just a small cubby. I don't know, you can see where my hand was there. So it was just a small kind of curved cubby. But I've took this board away here, and it seems to have opened up quite a lot more space. I mean, you could access this from in here, but it was stuffed full of big lumps of carpet, and we never really used this space because it was just tiny. But that's actually, I mean, there we go. That's a good bit of space that I've freed up in there. So aye, a good bit of storage. Maybe turn it into a cupboard or something. But this whole section in here is nice and dry, so I'm happy at that. I'll just have to investigate further with the screw holes on top when it stops pouring with rain. Now we're just out in the local kind of, is it a restaurant?
Restaurant, hotel,
Bar
bar, pub.
For Sally's birthday, so yeah, even I'm in a shirt today, and I even managed to smile for the pictures. So,
A smile.
Sheldon Cooper smile. I think I nearly broke the camera there, but anyway, aye, we're just out for a wee bite to eat, just to celebrate Sally's birthday. So we thought we would just kind of mark the occasion in the video as well. So happy birthday, darling.
Thank you, baby. It was lovely.
There we go. So this should fit onto there like that. Right. So and then another one there like that, and then we'll move on to the next ones.
Aye. See how many more drill bits get broken and
Bump through.
aye. It's hard going, isn't it?
Aye. Well, I'm currently sitting in Ullapool, which is probably about 30 miles away, but it's the nearest big town to us. Because my brain did a thing. Even although I've welded that, I've got that box welded up with 3mm welding rods, and it's double and triple welded. My brain decided that it might be a good idea just to put bolts through the angle iron just in case. And it turned out that I needed 16 bolts, M10 bolts. So aye, that's me driven, what, 60 mile round trip just to get 16 bolts, because my head's telling me I need something that the other part of my head's telling me that I absolutely don't. But it'll be a redundancy, let's call it. Aye. So I'm up here in Ullapool now, and it's the first flurry of snow in the hills up here, so winter's not far off. While I remember, just to answer a wee question, I'm not quite sure how the question was meant, but the question went like this: how will somebody like me afford a big enough catamaran to live aboard? I'm going to take the question at face value. Somebody like me will afford a catamaran that's big enough to live on if I get something that's needing a lot of work. That was always going to be a thing anyway. How else can I show you me bodging things together if I've not got a boat that needs work? So it'll be an old boat. It'll be something like a Prout Snow Goose, or if I'm really lucky, a Prout Quasar, something like that. Something that was built 30-40 years ago, but was built back when manufacturers didn't know how much they could get away with, so the fiberglass is like half an inch thick in it. Something that I can beach and work on a beach. Money value, in the grand scheme of things, it'll not be worth an awful lot, but it'll be worth a huge amount to us. I might even get lucky and get somebody that's just trying to get rid of one. You never know. But I'll keep my eye open for whatever's out there, and aye, we'll see what happens. It's not going to be a gleaming new thing. I mean, if I went to a bank and asked for money for something like that, they would just laugh at me. But it's going to be something that, relatively speaking, is inexpensive. That I can work over the years and repair and build up. And we can fix it anywhere in the world, you know. So, aye, it's going to be something like an old Prout or an old Apache or something like that, you know. but somebody like me wouldn't be able to afford a brand new $2 million catamaran. I mean, I've got more chance of growing wings and flying away, but something more realistic like that, aye, it's doable. So as I said, I'll keep my eyes open, and if anybody knows of something like that, give me a shout, you know. Anyway, that's that question answered, and I'm going to drive the 30 miles back home, and we might even get to see the crazy goats that run across the road. Anyway, I'll see you back at the box in a minute. Now, while I was in Ullapool, I seen one of these things, and I've been meaning to get one for a while. It's just a wee paraffin lamp that you can hang up. So, aye, I think that'll do good for the boat. We'll keep it for emergencies, just in case. It wasn't actually that expensive, so aye, quite happy at that. You can, I mean, you turn the wick down so that it doesn't sit putting off the black smoke. See, when you put the wick up, you see the smoke starting to come off it. So put it down like that until the smoke stops. And it gives a nice wee glow and a bit of heat. So aye, they're really handy for boats, so I thought I'd pick that up while I was up. As I said earlier, I'm going to put a nut and a bolt through on each side, on each corner. I mean, it has been really welded. I've done it on the inside of the plate and then the outside of the plate. Then I've put the angle iron on it and welded on both sides, top and bottom. So I really don't think it'll come apart anytime soon. But as I said, my brain did a thing, so I'm going to make sure.
Belt and braces.
Aye. It was a 64 mile round trip and 30 quid. Just so that my brain can okay.
Whistle while you work, darling.
Aye, just so that my brain can go to sleep. You know, I love this drill. The only thing I'm not keen on is the vent up here, because that's where I tend to hold it, so I'm having to get used to holding it in a different position. But I love the power of it. What I'm doing is I'm using a 2.5mm bit just to do pilot holes, and then I'll probably go up to 4 and then up to 6 and then up to 10mm because it's M10 bolts that I've got. So I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to do each corner and we'll get that bolted up, and then we'll be ready to clean it with some acetone and then epoxy. A couple of coats of epoxy and then paint. What are you making faces at?
I leant on something behind me and it moved. And I've just learned the purpose of drilling pilot holes, because whenever I've put things up before, I've never drilled pilot holes.
Aye.
And everything's always gone up wonky.
You drill a small hole, it's grabbing less, and then when you go up the sizes it grabs less and you get less twisting and it walks less and things like that. So aye, it's just the way I was always taught to do it. I felt like it broke there.
You probably got through to the checker plate.
The checker plate's a lot harder. Well, now I don't have any cutting oil just now, so I'll just have to use a wee drop of that. And for all the safety conscious, that's not going to hit my leg. There's actually a plate in here as well. I'm just stopping it from wobbling down the way. The cutting oil just it stops the drill from overheating, because if the tip of the drill overheats, it loses its temper, it loses its hardness, and then it goes blunt really fast, like what happened with that one. You see how that one's black at the tip? Just at the tip there it's black. That's because it's overheat. And as soon as it gets to a certain temperature, it loses its hardness and it will stop drilling. And that bit is pretty much useless now.
So you can't sharpen that up?
You could cut it down further where it's not lost its temper. But in doing so, you'd probably take the temper out of that tip as well. That's why, as I said to you yesterday, I've started buying basically disposable drill kits, because I got tired of buying really expensive cobalt bits and them snapping on me. I'm one of the people that seems to put too much pressure on drill bits, and I've snapped nearly every drill bit I've ever had. So I mean, I've bought DeWalt sets, I've bought cobalt bits at £15 each.
I have seen them.
And I could not believe it. I mean, it cut steel like butter and then just shattered on me, and I could not believe it. So this is me learning myself with throwaway bits how to take care of drill bits better. This one just doesn't want to go through.
You're trying to drill through one of those ridged bits.
Aye, possibly. I'm going to stick a bigger bit in. See if I can. Now, we went back to the expensive drill bits, back to the Bosch bits, because drill bits usually shatter because they're so hard. These ones aren't hard, and that was literally just out the box. That was the first 2 turns in the drill, and it bent. Anybody know of any indestructible drill bits? As I said, I've tried nearly them all. I mean, I know the checker plate is a lot harder. It's got more carbon in it than the angle iron has. That's why I'm having trouble, I think. But aye, it's definitely more than they can take. Well, that's 4 drilled anyway.
Out of 16?
I might come back in a wee bit once I've got 16 drilled. Because I've now got to go back through all them with bigger drill bits. So, aye, it'll take a while and it'll be boring just sitting watching. Now, quite a bit later, and some expletives and a couple of broken drill bits. I don't know how, but I even managed to break the tip of a 10mm drill bit. As you can see, I was using oil and it helped a great deal, but once I got up to the bigger bits, aye, it was heavy going. My wee drill is baking hot, so I'm letting it cool down just now. But we'll get these bolts in, then we'll get the box cleaned and we'll start getting it epoxied. Now that they've given it a quick sand down, we're going to use some expensive acetone on it, because all the cheap acetone's on the boat. So we're going to get a bit of a wipe down just to make sure all the dust and things is off it, and then we're going to give it another epoxy coat, and after that it will get 2 top coats, which should mean it's pretty much sealed against the water. Lily, would you mind getting your big head out of the way? Thank you. No, it's not big, it's just...
Humongous!
I nearly done a Sailing Brothers there, meant delicious.
Delicious!
Now, don't think that I'm slating the Sailing Brothers, they're brilliant, they're the highlight of your week. We absolutely love them. But aye, that delicious thing has just stuck with us. But we won't steal it.
Right, do we need to turn again? It is solid.
It weighs as much as the boat, I think.
Don't know about that. Almost.
Now, if anybody notices these, don't worry about them. That's wee chilies that we've grown this year and we're drying out. This is all off one wee plant, so we've done quite well. And it's still producing chilies just now. I can't get it to focus. There we go.
We're just going to have infinite chilies.
Well, I don't mind them. They've actually got a really good flavour to them.
We make some chili, sweet chili jam or sauce or something.
Aye. Anyway, just in case people noticed it and wondered what it was, and that behind there that's all blurry, that's a bamboo plant.
Yep.
Now, this is just on the first coat of a top coat. So it's already got 2 coats of epoxy, really thick epoxy. And then, as I said, it'll get 2 tops, 2 tops? Easy for me to say. 2 coats of top coat. Por favor.
I was thinking it's winter, it needs 2 coats.
It'll need more than 2 coats with what's coming next week.
Aye.
I hear we've got sub-zero temperatures and snow in stock next week. So we might be on the boat just making snowmen. So
Yeah, do you want to build a snowman? No, I bloody don't.
no, I'd rather it be nice and warm so that I can get on with boat jobs.
Aye, warm and dry. It goes on easy, this stuff.
It does. It's nice and thin so it gets into everywhere. But we'll give it 2 coats of this and we'll come back in and see how it's looking. If it needs a 3rd and a 4th coat, then so be it. I'd rather go overkill than not quite meet the mark. Now, this is its first coat. It's not perfect. As I said, it's got more coats to go. Initially I thought 2 coats, but we might go 3 just to make sure every wee crease is sealed. Anyway, hold on. There we go. Now you can see it. Aye. So we'll let that dry for half an hour or so and then we'll stick another coat on it and see how it looks after that. This is the 2nd coat that's been on it. I think we're actually going to do a 3rd. What we've done was turned it the other way around so that the paint would run into creases upside down. I think she's looking quite well. Still a bit Mad Max, but it should certainly do what it's supposed to do. So I think what we'll do is just like that, get it painted. I think you can still see on the back it's got dark patches, so aye, we'll get the paint on it and then we'll get that over to the boat. But aye, she's looking pretty well. Now, I realise the video isn't long, but as I said at the start, you know, it's quite difficult trying to get videos done in this weather. I know that sounds like an excuse, and it probably is, but aye, we'll get as much done and we'll get the videos out as often as we can. I know a lot of YouTubers in Britain just kind of pack it up for the winter. We're going to endeavour not to do that. We're going to try and get videos out every week if possible, even if they're not as long as usual. I got asked as well, well I remember, sorry, I digress. Wouldn't it be like
doing
me?
a thing.
Aye. Aye, my brain does things. I wish they'd do the things I was telling them to do, but anyway. I was asked about Patreon meetups and things like that. We are planning on going to boat shows and things like Southampton and all the rest of it. So aye, we'll definitely be looking at doing Patreon meetups. There was somebody asked about how to do the WhatsApp for the Patreon. As I said, it's something that we're setting up for the members that are supporting us, just so they've got direct access and, you know, we can bounce ideas off them and just chat back and forward in general. I think what Patreon does is it gives you a free one, And then we've got the category, it's a £5 a month. It's, I mean, that will really help us out. I'm saying just a fiver, but a fiver's a fiver, you know. But I hope that for that fiver, you know, we give value. There'll be a lot of wee kind of inside videos that when we're doing bits and pieces throughout the week and things as well. As I said, there'll be the Patreon, WhatsApp, and then we'll definitely look at doing meetups. I think we're hoping to get over to Holland next year and possibly Norway. If no Norway, then France. You never know, we might end up in Port Napoleon with a big catamaran for
Anything's
£1.
possible.
Aye. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop rambling on it, yes. We'll finish up the video there. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much to everybody that supports us. It makes a huge difference.
We're growing really quickly.
We are. We had a
great.
good week. I think we grew by about 200 subscribers this week, which is really reassuring because it shows me that the world has actually gone mad. That 200 extra people want to listen to this nonsense. But it makes me very humbled and very, very grateful to people. So thank you very much for your support. And if you wouldn't mind, keep on helping us grow, because the more people that see this madness, the better. Thank you very much. If you wouldn't mind, like, share and subscribe. And take care. We'll see you next week.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.